Opening this week is Predator Badlands. I am so stoked for this movie. By the way, I opted not to go to the press screening yesterday. I ultimately decided not to break my streak and not break my rule by not going to any press screening. So I held strong and I didn't go, but I am going to go to an early fan screening tomorrow. Not a press event. I bought tickets for it, so I'm going to go to that tomorrow. Yeah, I know you're going to see it tomorrow too.
Tomorrow, yes, 6:30 at the Harkins, if I get back from the airport in time.
Very, very, very excited about it. I cannot wait to see it. Now, we heard some first reactions come out about Predator Badlands last week. And, you know, the first reactions, I mean, they're all honest, but they skew more positive because all you've got is a quick little tweet you can put out, right? So they usually skew more positive. But today the review embargo lifted. And as of right now, Predator Badlands has one of the highest critic ratings of any of the Predator movies at 87%. And it's not just with 5 or 6 reviews come in. This is like with 52 reviews that have come in. So let's go over and take a look at what the critics are saying about Predator Badlands.
And Jeremy Johns is right there on the top.
Yep. Well, that's because he was the newest one to put it in.
Oh.
But
well, in
Jeremy
my mind,
Johns,
he's a top critic.
he is.
In my heart.
He gave it the positive red tomato. He says, pretty entertaining is what he says in there. Dread Central says, this is the Predator theatrical experience we've been waiting for. Empire Magazine liked it, saying Predator Badlands is a big popcorn fun and geeky commingling of lurid sci-fi comedy and
it's supposed to be commingling.
Commingling. Oh, I read that wrong. I read coming. And rowdy action that gets high off its own supply. I love that.
That's the kind of review I want.
High on its
Yeah.
own supply, baby.
Now, Polygon gave it a negative review, but it's very lukewarm in its negativeness. It says, while there's plenty of CGI action-packed stuff, there's no real tension. Okay, fair enough. AV Club also didn't like it. They said the mystique of the Predator, what it was and where it came from, was best left to the imagination. The second you start pulling that thread, the whole idea falls apart.
I totally disagree with that.
I think I do too. I mean, it's not like, because you're talking about the entire protagonist race,
right,
as opposed to like something like the Force in Star Wars, which they should have left ambiguous, but that's not a main character or anything like that. But anyway, but that's how they saw it, so that's fair enough. Our friend Jermaine Lucier over at IO9 wrote, Predator Badlands is not like any Predator movie you've seen before, but it's still an excellent Predator movie. THN didn't like it. They said Predator Badlands takes one of sci-fi horror's most formidable warriors and neuters it entirely. Pairs it with some child-baiting sidekicks, overloads it with CG, and creates a rather lackluster movie that screams Disneyfication. That is by far the most negative review I've read of it so far. So again, that's how it hit Cat. Fair enough. Big Gold Belt Media wrote, they liked it. They said, a bold evolution of the Predator legacy, visceral, emotional, visually jaw-dropping sci-fi adventure at its finest. CG Magazine liked it. They said, rest assured, though, even with the softer rating, Badlands remains every bit as violent as the rest of the franchise. Mama's Geeky liked it. They said it brings something new to the franchise, making audiences not only root for the, always mispronounce it, Yatija, but also fall in love with one while still delivering on what makes it so beloved, the epic action sequences. CNET liked it, saying Trachtenberg delivers a high-energy underdog story that marries the Predator's brutish ways with a reflective viewpoint and gives us an ending that's not completely predictable for a sci-fi movie set in the universe. Well done. Movie Maker Magazine wrote, to put it simply, it's a legacy sequel done right. And Badlands is equal parts exciting and thrilling, a cinematic crowd pleaser that showcases the franchise still has plenty of stories and fight within it. Roll on the next hunt. Mortal Cinema wrote, this is what the Riddick sequels should have been. This is what After Earth should have been. This is what Rebel Moon should have been. Not quite sure exactly what they mean by that, but they liked it. Heaven of Horror liked it, saying it's a classic hero's journey, but the hero is a predator. Personally, I love this different approach. Otherwise, I could just rewatch the old movies. I I agree with that in philosophy. I haven't seen the movie, but in principle, I agree with that a lot. Coming Soon liked it, saying Predator Badlands is an action-packed killer entry into this series. The movie manages to give you what you wanted and what you didn't know you wanted from a Predator film. Beyond the Trailer liked it, saying Disney is doing a great job with their Fox-era franchises, and Predator is perhaps the best yet. Ellie Fanning is a sensation in the film, but so is newcomer Demetrius, blah, 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 as Deck. Dan Trachtenberg delivers a very fun sci-fi fantasy film.
Kaloa Matangi?
Sure.
Is that his Kaloa? That's if you're going to play
Schuster,
a Predator,
Kaloa
that's a
Matangi.
great last name if you're a Predator. Schuster Kaloa Matangi?
I'll go
As
for
a
it.
Predator, that's the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Sounds like a UFC fighter's
Probably
name.
Matangi.
Is it Matangi?
What I'd figure.
Now, the playlist didn't like it. They said a curious, half-successful mutation in the Predator bloodline. Badlands wants to transcend the franchise primal instincts. Instead, it proves that sometimes survival means knowing what not to evolve. Okay, fair enough. Sebastian wrote, the overall balance is positive, just barely, thanks to the film's good direction, impressive visual effects, a very fun Ellie Fanning, and a satisfying expansion of the lore, blah, blah, blah. Screen International liked it. They said, reconceiving the iconic sci-fi villain as an underdog hero, Predator Badlands is consistently entertaining action thriller filled with propulsive set pieces. And the good folks over at Looper wrote, Dan Trachtenberg has attained a similar status to Phil Lord and Chris Miller a decade ago, taking pitches that sounded disastrous and turning them into non-compromised, crowd-pleasing against all odds. So, aside from the one, even the 3 negative reviews weren't all that bad, and the people that liked it seemed to really like it. Again, right now sitting at 87%. And Rob, I'll tell you what, this is one of those situations where I'm not just happy to see a lot of positive reviews, I'm really happy to hear them touching on the things that I exactly wanted to hear.
Yeah.
You know, that they lean well in, they're trying to expand the lore. They're also trying to, really position him as the antagonist as opposed to the protagonist. The whole fact that it's like crowd pleasing, action packed. I'm not going to lie. I'm going into a Predator film wanting to see those elements. So I got to tell you, this has done nothing but increase my excitement to see this thing tomorrow night. I cannot wait to see it. Can't wait to do my out of the theater reaction to it. But anyway, Rob, you're hearing the reviews. What are the elements you're hearing in there that you're taking away from this?
Well, first and foremost, I'm really excited about this franchise overall because 20th Century Studios president Steve Asbell, who I like to call the quiet king of franchises, he brought back Hellraiser, Alien, Predator. He even has The Hand That Rocks the Cradle on Hulu now.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy knows what's up. But what he's done here is, John, I talk about authorship. This is Dan Trachtenberg's 3rd Predator film. After Prey, after Killer of Killers. Who would have thought that he would have taken the Predator franchise in that direction? First of all, going back and Amber Midthunder, making her the protagonist.
Yeah.
And then deciding, I'm going to do an anthology animated Predator movie set in World War II and during samurai times. I mean, who would have thought? And it was awesome. And now we're getting his take on a sci-fi action adventure film where the Predator himself, Deck, is the antagonist or the protagonist. This is what we should be getting from all of our franchises. You have a studio president who finds a filmmaker, understands that filmmaker's vision, supports that vision, and allows that filmmaker to bring us something that is new and unique to the franchise and carries the franchise further. Now, some people I've heard, even in these reviews, talked about, I wish it was back the old way. Like, I want a Predator hunting humans or whatever. Well, as somebody pointed out, we have that. You can go watch those movies if you want. But what I like to hear is that Dan Trachtenberg wanted to make, I think, a throwback action adventure, call it a swashbuckling action adventure, but instead of pirates, you have a Predator protagonist. And it's a fusion of the Alien and Predator worlds,
Yep.
which is wild. I mean, if you think about it, and everyone seems to love this, and if nothing else, no one hasn't said it wasn't a heck of a lot of fun. I mean, I don't know what Disneyfication means. Certainly Prey and Killer of Killers were not Disneyfied. And I think it's one thing if you're going and you're trying to make a big, full-on Predator action adventure where it's not a gore fest where he's tearing human beings apart limb from limb. We got that. We got that in Killer of Killers. So this to me sounds...
He's going to be tearing other things apart limb from limb, just
Right.
not humans.
Just there's no humans on that planet.
Well, this shows you that the hunters that go out have to survive this. So this is what they've been through before.
Yeah,
they
this
got.
is like their proving ground.
Right,
Yes,
exactly.
feels like,
And
yeah.
I love that. I love that we're getting this race, the Yautja?
Oh, God.
Yeah, whatever.
However you pronounce it. I love that we're getting that race. We get to see more of these aliens, and it's fleshed out. Look, I've been wanting to see this since the beginning of Alien versus Predator Requiem when we saw the Predator homeworld. Look, I think the next Predator movie should be about a Predator band that's out on the road trying to stop from falling apart. There's conflicting egos, and they finally make it to Earth, and they become the most successful metal band ever seen on Earth. How about that? Almost famous with predators.
Sure. Now, do they kill a lot of people along the way?
No, they don't have to, because these are predators.
you
These
lost
are
me a little
predators.
bit.
They've grown up. They don't hunt anymore.
Yeah,
they hunt
I
on the
don't know.
weekends. They're a band. They're a rock band.
I want him to
They
lure.
shred.
I want him to lure the groupies into the backstage and then murder them. Turn on the little laser pointer, kill them. I'll be down with that. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? The reviews, the actual full reviews, are now out for Predator Badlands, and they're quite strong. Right now, holding an 87%. I'm sure it'll go up or down a few percentage points here or there, but I'm loving what I'm hearing. Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.